All right, so I'm going to give you a behind the scenes look at how I set up my studio for the YouTube video. So first off, we're going to start off with turning on the key lights right here. So I've got two of them right here. I definitely want it to be bright enough when I am filming. So usually what I'll do is for both YouTube and all my other videos, I will set it up pretty much in this direction right here, and I usually fine tune it once I get everything set up. So the next thing is actually getting the camera set up right here. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the camera right over here, and when I am filming it for YouTube, I pretty much have it set up in landscape mode. And just depending if I decide to be sitting down or standing up, which just depends on the mood that I'm in. In this case, I'm going to set it up for me standing up, and basically I'll be looking from that direction, looking towards the camera. And you'll see, excuse the mess that I have here, but I used to use one of those batteries that you would put in here with a wire that I would connect to the outlet, and then basically now I just use a long USB-C cable that pretty much keeps it powered on. It's charging as well. As you can see right there, the view to that section there is where I will be. And then the next thing that I'll do is just set up the microphone. This is my wireless Godox here. I'm actually using the other wireless Godox you see right here on my phone right here, recording a voice memo that I'm going to sync up with this video right here that I have on my hat. You'll see right here once I get this set up. And so you can see right here, I can check the levels from the microphone. Right now I'm holding it in my hand, but I'm going to go ahead and just set this to the side. And what I'll do here also is I'll turn on my monitor, and this will allow me to pretty much make sure that I have everything set up where it needs to be. And so check the level, pretty much spot on. So you can see me right here. You'll see me right in the camera. There we go. So I've got this camera right now that's recording this first person view. So you can see again, I've got the light set up right here, and try to keep it out so it's not in view in the monitor there. So just make some adjustments, and all of this I will fine tune. Usually I'll zoom in here, and again, just depends on where I want to be set up. And so let's go ahead and set this up for YouTube standing up. So what I'll do is pretty much use that corner of the room right there. That's going to be my backdrop. And so now basically what I need to do is light it up in that section. And first off, I'll make sure and move my chair out of the way. I'll put this microphone down, and then I'll come over here and make sure that the light will turn this on. You can get a look at the drums right here. I try to make sure that none of my drums are turned on, and when I say turned on, if a snare drum is turned on that way and now it's turned off, basically the snare is off. That way there's no vibrations and buzzing as I'm playing. So we'll look at the camera over there. I can pretty much take a look and see if this is centered, and I can make an adjustment. And I like this purplish blue look. So you can see it looks great on the this wood paneling wall. I actually put this up, and this is shiplap, and I stained it all black. It looks fantastic. Whoops. Let's get back over here because I think I heard something. Okay, everything's looking good. All right, I hear a beep and I get concerned. All right, so that's set up pretty much where it needs to be. If I decide to film in this direction right here, basically I will basically move that light stick pretty much here, and I'll usually move this symbol out of the way so it doesn't like stick out of my shoulder, especially if I'm sitting down. So if I decide to sit down, usually I'll sit right about right here. There's my computer, and this pretty much, it sticks out like where my ear is, so I pretty much move this out of the way into that area. by the way, just so you can see. Music stand I usually use for my iPad when I'm ever using a prompter. And this is my secondary drum set, my traveling drum set. This pretty much stays here. And then if I decide to, the bathroom, multiple things that I do with the bathroom. And let's come over here to right here. If I decide to use this, I'll try to make sure and match, for example, if that's purple there. So basically just the number there to get it close to where that one's at. So all of your RGB are set up. So this one is at 279. So they bring it up to 279. And I think it looks pretty close. So then if I decide to, I'll usually set up this as a mood light in here. And it kind of adds a little nice light right there. So I'll kind of walk back. So from that angle, when I'm shooting in this direction, it looks peachy. Peachy, I don't know why I use that word. There we go. But we're going to take this back out since I'm not going to be using this backdrop. All right, so now right here what I'll do, so I see that the light is off center, but that's okay because it's actually lighting up pretty much perfectly where I need it to be. So let's go ahead. I'm going to grab the other mic here, and so this is now talking into the camera right there. All right, so now what I'll do here, usually I'll put on a one of my shirts. You can see them hanging there. Pretty much the ones that I use in my videos. I alternate between the two, and I actually like them, and here's why. I'll give you a little reason why. Let's go ahead and bring this into the light. This shirt has this really nice little cord right here, and that's a perfect spot to put the microphone. And then the other shirt, this is not sponsored by Wrangler, but Wrangler, if you are watching this, can sponsor my shirts. Here we go. This fits nicely right there. It's like it was perfectly made for video recording. All right, so enough about the shirts. And then so pretty much I think I've got it set up where it needs to be. I'm not going to worry about the shirt that I'm going to be wearing here. So basically now what I'll do is let's go ahead and just, actually I can't start recording just yet. I think I've got it pretty much set where it needs to be. Let's bring back that, and then I make some adjustments to the light so this is not in view. There we go, because sometimes it'll come out in this little corner right here. And then the last thing that I'll do is basically I'll turn off these other lights right here, and that's so that I don't get the different color temperatures in my video. Pretty much I have these set up a little, probably about 6500 Kelvin, and that's just kind of the way that I like my videos to look like. Pretty much right here I'll set up and record. Let's go a little trial run here. Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Claudio, welcome to my video. Okay, giving you a little sample there. And then so I do my intro, I'll do my intro, what am I talking about in this video, and then I'll record the outro. You know, hey, thanks so much for watching, and I'll give you, make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and then I'll stop recording. All right, I had to continue the recording. It got cut off, hopefully not too much. So now that I've done the intro, outro, is I'll set it up for the Instagram. So I'll turn the camera here, and I'll go ahead and turn the lights back on for this one, just for setup. And then basically I've got my tripod, and there we go, pretty much the same. And now what I may do is just do a little bit of a adjustment so that's centered right there, and raise this up a bit just so. All right, and we'll turn the lights back off, and this is, I'll just come and do a quick check right here. Pretty much, yeah, that's pretty spot on. Sometimes what I'll do is raise this up higher, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll hunch down just a little bit just to make sure that I'm looking straight to the lens here, and basically go ahead and start recording my Instagram video. Usually what I'll do is record, like I said, intro, outro, flip it vertically, so 9:16. I'll record my Instagram promo for this same video, blah 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 blah. Hey, if you want to watch this, comment below. You know, I'll do all that. And then once I stop recording that, next step, turn all the lights back on, and then what I'll do is I'll flip this, and it basically looks straight at the computer. I'm going to go ahead and bring my chair back in here, and now we're looking at my computer. And then basically I'll do my record my tutorials. I'll bring up a window here. Let's see what we got. Let's do new. All right, we got Express. So then I'll set up the size, and I use QuickTime to record my screens and pretty much record the video here. I'll use my microphone here. This is in case you're wondering, this is a Shure SM7B. It's a great microphone, probably the most used one. There I go, look back at the camera. I set record there. Boom, let's record. Start the recording here. Do my tutorial. Just record straight through. If I make mistakes, I'll just like pick up wherever I left off, save it, and then I record it. Then I go and edit in Premiere. By the way, when I'm doing all of this, pretty much these lights are off as well as this one. So let's go ahead and turn this one off. Made a little noise on the symbol there. And like I said, this is actually, these lights would be turned off, but for the sake of this video, I wanted it to stay on just so it's nice and bright. And that's pretty much the setup for my YouTube videos and for my Instagram social. Just FYI, when I do record on for my videos for social, when I flip the camera again, like I said, let's go back, and I'll record in that direction. Obviously I've turned off the purple light over there, this light stick. So I'll record there. I try to alternate different angles just to make it interesting. And so that's a look behind the scenes at the setup for YouTube and Instagram, the studio lighting, backdrop, back colors, and everything. So hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes look, and until next time, have fun creating. Peace.